So, Akai just released their MPC Studio, basically a Mark II. Of course, back around 2012-13, you had the original MPC Studio, which was just a controller to control the MPC software. Now they released it in an updated way just to kind of match with the MPC Live 2 and the X and just the whole sleekness and modern feel. So it really looks good. I seen it and it caught my attention as soon as I saw the first pictures of the leaks. A lot of Facebook groups and people in the community have been posting like a leaked box, and then like a website, I think it was overseas or something, posted it early. So people were trying to figure out if it's real or not. But today Akai officially announced it. And all the creators are bombarding YouTube with their opinions and things like that. I wasn't chosen to get an advanced copy of it, but maybe in the future, Akai. But I just wanted to get a little rant out about my feelings on this MPC. Basically, a lot of people are... I ain't gonna say that. A lot of people are crapping on it, and I think they're missing the point of what it is. I keep turning this on and not hitting the thing, but it's not an MPC Live. It's not an MPC X. It's not an MPC Touch. It's not the MPC Studio from back in the day or the Renaissance. It's not an MPC 2000 or 2000 XL or 3000 or 60. Or SP. It's a controller for the MPC software. Everybody doesn't care about a standalone workflow. I've come to appreciate it a little bit more after messing with the Live and the Live 2 recently, and I forgot how that was and how it makes you think different. The first standalone piece I had was the Phantom X back in the early 2000s. And the X6, it was dope. It did change my beats. I was able to just get the beats out real quick, and I didn't even like mix and everything all the way. I just kind of muted things and recorded it into Pro Tools and just recorded right there from the stream I did on the fly, and it actually created like a humanized feel, or just stuff that you wouldn't do if you were clicking in and like manually arranging something. But that's besides the point. So that is some benefits of like a standalone workflow, as well as like software crashes and stuff. MPC software 2.10, it has crashed on me a couple times, and I've seen other people saying that it crashed on them as well. But that will be fixed with a small incremental update. Like, there's not a big deal. Before that, never had an issue with controller mode or the software. But this new MPC Studio, don't let anybody tell you not to get it if you know exactly what it is. Do your research, know how you work, and go from there. Because me, I started in FL Studio. I have used Logic. I appreciate Ableton now. And so most of the time I'm using Ableton or FL Studio these days. Unless I feel like working standalone, then I use the MPC Live. But I also use the MPC, if you look at some of my other videos, I might link some up here. I use the MPC within Ableton and stuff like that. And for stuff like that and that workflow, this MPC Studio is amazing for that. So pretty much who this is for, if you have been using the MPC software or beats or anything like that, and it works for you, but it's just a little difficult to navigate around or to get your MIDI controller. I've used the Akai Mini here and the new Akai Mini, and trying to use the MPC software with these, they are a pain to try to use. Like, I know you can go in and intricately set it up and all that, but I ain't got time for that. I want a controller that I can open the software with and everything is already mapped perfectly for that software and that software only, and that's what the MPC Studio is. If you want to use something and not look at the computer screen, don't get a computer screen controller. If you come from a background of using the computer anyway, then that's who this is for. So that's all I got to say. Like, if I'm in the workflow, if I'm sitting right here in front of my computer using on my 4K monitors and I got the software up and everything I need to see is there, why is it a problem for me to go back and forth and use my mouse and like bang out the beats, move the mouse, do some more beats, move the mouse? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I wouldn't want to be sitting here I don't care about the shortcuts on the MPC Studio. Like, people are complaining about the shortcuts. Why is that a big deal? If you're at your computer while you're using it, you're using the software, it doesn't matter if it has a small screen. You have a huge monitor in front of you. Even if you're on a 13-inch MacBook, the screen is way bigger than this, so the workflow is not going to be changed that much. So for the price, and I've actually used the Machine Micro too, and I made some amazing beats on that, if I must say so myself. I actually almost went back to it, especially when they put the new one out that looked so dope. And that's kind of like what this MPC reminds me of. Of course, they're trying to compete with that and likely did a good job. Like, the form factor and everything, the fact that you can plug in a USB cable and it's bus powered, so you can take your laptop and that, or one of these MPK minis and that, about the size of a regular MPC with the keyboard and everything. That's who it's for. If you come, it's like, some people don't care about the bigger MPCs or the workflow of the MPC or where it comes from. Like, if you're just into making beats and you know you're going to be using the computer for most of those beats, you don't really have to worry about, is this the same as a MPC Live or MPC X? Most people are purists in the fact that they come from a certain era and are not open to seeing where things are going. A lot of things are on the computer now. Everybody praising Nas and Hit Boy's album and stuff. Hit Boy uses FL Studio. So it's not like a thing of you're not making real hit, like real, I said hits. It's not like you're not using real hip hop or doing real hip hop if you're using a computer. Like, from the Metro Boomin to Mike Will to Hit Boy to Boy Wonder, all the top of the charts right now, most of them use FL Studio. So, and a lot of people use Ableton too, from the Kenny Beats, and I've seen T-Pain using FL Studio and other stuff. Danger, which came from the MPC like 4000 and all the old ones and all that, and Timbaland and stuff. Timbaland uses Ableton and the Ableton Push. Danger has been bouncing around. I've seen him with the MPC Lives and also seen him in Ableton and stuff. Pharrell used Logic. The computer is not taboo. Like, if you want to make beats the way you want to make beats. And like I said, this is a rant, so I'm all over the place. It's just a stream of consciousness, because I see a lot of people and they kind of crap on people that want to use the controller mode and use the computer. And if that's not for you, don't use it. But don't put other people down for wanting to use like software and the computer. Like I said, it just doesn't make sense to me to have something connected to your computer and be like scared or think that you get brownie points for not using the mouse and the keyboard or whatever. Like, it's all together, it's all here to make dope music. And the people that hear your music on streaming services or your video or whatever, they don't care what you made it on. They don't care if you made it on the iPhone, on FL Studio Mobile or IMPC or Beatmaker 3 or whatever. Like, so that's my perspective on it, is just do what works for you, but don't deter others from like maybe finding something that works for them. That just goes to all the videos. Like, they all dropped around the same time. So everybody that has something crazy to say about this, I just don't get it. Because I'm on the fence about getting one, because I would prefer to keep my live elsewhere and use it when I want to make something standalone elsewhere in my house. and just use the controller mode here, because when I'm streaming or doing videos, I like to use controller mode anyway, because I don't have to run the audio cables through the mixer and to do all that. Like, and then when I want to take the MPC somewhere else, I gotta unhook all the audio cables and all that. So just using the USB cable into the software, getting the same sound and the same quality is kind of a no-brainer, especially for the price. I haven't seen the price yet, but if the one is like 7 something, I'm sure it should be at least half of that. If it's $300 or $400, like, just get it and integrate it into your workflow and enjoy it. So basically, in a nutshell, if you care about doing everything on the hardware and not using the computer, and you want to be able to navigate everything on there, don't get this. If you want a true hybrid solution and you want a better way to use the MPC software, and you might be using it in controller mode in as a VST in another DAW or on its own, because it doesn't matter. You can click and load your sounds and everything on the computer, which is way faster than scrolling this wheel around anyway. Then get the MPC Studio. In rent. That is it. That's my thoughts on this. I actually like it. I haven't touched it, but I've used enough MPCs to know and see exactly what it is, and I'm glad they made it. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. All of my videos aren't rants, so if you haven't seen my cook-ups and my reviews and stuff like that, check my other videos out, and then hit the subscribe button. Go hit like on all that and holla at me. Y'all hold it down, be safe. It's crazy out here. All that. All right.